Hey, how are you? Thanks for checking out my video. Today we're making stuffed green peppers. This recipe's been around a long time, although I have adapted it. I have a tendency to try to make recipes that call for ingredients that I like always have on hand. So, like I always have onions, and I always have Parmesan cheese, and I always have garlic powder and onion powder and Worcestershire sauce, but I don't always have fresh garlic. I've got some dry parsley here. I don't always have fresh parsley. If I had fresh parsley, I would use it for sure over the dry stuff, but I don't have that, so we're going to use the dry parsley today. But these are one of those, I'll be honest with you, I'm not a fan of green peppers. I don't care for these, but the meat mixture that you make that goes inside of them is basically the same as like a porcupine meatball, if you remember those. And I love that, so I love the filling, but my husband loves green peppers, and stuffed green peppers is like his favorite thing, and my mom loves them. And I'm going to take some to her today at the place where she lives, so her and her friends can have some too. So I don't actually eat the green pepper itself, I just eat the filling. But if you're a green pepper lover, then this is the recipe. Okay, I have a little bit over a pound here of ground beef. I believe it's 90-10. So try to get the leaner stuff, because we're actually going to put this into the peppers uncooked. So you don't want to get the really fattiest hamburger, because they'll be pretty greasy. So I think this is 90-10. So what I'm going to add to it is I took the tops from the green peppers and I chopped those up, and I'm going to add those into it. And I have an onion, a small onion, that's going in there. And then we have our rice, and I'm going to put, this is some rice that I bought from Trader Joe's, already cooked. But it comes in a freezer, and it's like a steamer bag, so it is cooked, but it's slightly frozen right now. I'm going to use about 1 cup of rice, I think. I'll see as I mix it up. If I think it needs any more, then I'll add some more. I'm going to add a couple shots of Worcestershire. I'm going to add some garlic powder, some onion powder, a good amount of salt, pepper. I've got a half a cup of Parmesan cheese here, and I've got about 2 tablespoons of dried parsley here. I'm going to use half of it, and half of it I'm going to put in the sauce. And the sauce, to me, is what makes it so good. This sauce recipe's been around for many years. It's Campbell's tomato soup. We'll go ahead and make that right now. It's condensed Campbell's tomato soup, 2 cans, and Worcestershire sauce, pepper, and parsley. And that, again, I have tweaked it a little bit. So to me, the sauce, okay, we're going to put some Worcestershire in there, we're going to put some parsley in there, and we're going to put some pepper in there. And that is our sauce. And I'm going to take just like a heaping spoonful and put that into our mix right there. So we're going to mix this all up. And actually, I'm going to get in here with my hands, which I just washed. And I know it might seem like having the raw onion in there is not good because it's not cooked, but these cook for a long time, like 45 minutes, so the onion will definitely be cooked tender by the time they're done. Now you don't have to put the tops of the, chop the green peppers up and add it to the beef. Like I said, I don't like green peppers, so I actually made a little extra for myself that doesn't have green peppers in it. But I just like using up the leftover green peppers. I don't like wasting them. And so sometimes if I don't want to add it into the meat mixture, I'll just chop it up, put it in a Ziploc bag, and then freeze it. And then sometime when I'm making a pizza or something, and my husband loves green peppers on his pizza, then I'll just pull that out of the freezer and throw it on top of a pizza. Okay, so this is coming together nicely. And I have 6 green peppers, which I'm not gonna stuff a whole pepper, and that's because I'm taking it to my mom and some ladies in their, later 70s. They don't have like the biggest appetite in the whole world. So instead of full whole peppers, they'll each get a half a pepper. And then they always have stuff along with that. They usually have a little fruit and some other vegetable along with every meal. So half a pepper is plenty. Okay, I've got my hands washed and we're ready to stuff our peppers. I've got my oven going it's preheating actually for 350, and by the time I get this done, it will be ready. So I'm gonna start out using sort of the exact same amount for each one and see how much extra I wind up with. A lot of recipes out there for stuffed peppers call for cooked beef. They cook the rice and the beef all together, and I'm sure that's good, but this is the way I've always done it. It ends up being, like I said, kind of like a porcupine meatball stuffed in there, which I've always loved those since I was a kid. But I'm sure there's multiple different ways you can make them. This is just the way that I do it. Okay, so I actually have 3 more over here that are going to be for my husband. Okay, so I wound up with a lot of extra meat here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding extra to each one. And especially the ones that I have are bigger. I kind of saved the bigger ones for my husband because he can eat a lot more than my mom and her friends can. Okay, so I'm just gonna press everything down in a little bit so that it gets down in there. Okay, so now we're just gonna pour our sauce over everything. Put a little sauce on every one of them. Okay, so they're all stuffed and ready to, I'm just gonna cover them with some foil, wash my hands first, cover them with some foil, and I'm gonna put them in the oven. Okay, so I let them go for about 30 minutes, And now I'm gonna put some cheese on them and let them go for another, probably another 25 minutes. I've got some white cheddar here. You could use mozzarella, you could use really any cheese you like. Okay, so this time I'm gonna leave the foil off and I'll show them to you when they're done. Okay, so I just took these out of the oven and they did end up being in there for a total of an hour, a half an hour covered with foil. And then I pulled them out and I added cheese and put them in for another half an hour. And I believe I may have said 350 earlier. It actually was 375. And I don't know if you can see these real well. It turned out really nice. And I will put a link to the recipe in the description. And you can go to my website for all my other recipes and videos, and that's rhondasthriftkitchen.com. So thanks for joining me today, and I hope to see you soon. Please hit like, follow, and subscribe. It's free to you, and it helps me to be able to make more videos. Thank you. Take care. Bye.